Café Anyway. It's Mike Matthews. Hello to you. How are you?
It's Mike's Daily Podcast.
Welcome to Café Anyway, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth in the land of Ameritopica. It is episode
Mike's Daily Podcast
2827, 2827, and you probably know my name's not Kevin, and it's not Kyle. And that's sad by a mile, cause a lot of people try to break a record with that name and make a big smile happen. A lot of people named Kyle.
Mike's Daily Podcast
706 Kyles showed up in Kyle, Texas. Yeah.
Mike's Daily
Kyle, Texas.
Podcast.
Let's see.
Yeah!
I wonder exactly where that is in Texas. Have I been to Kyle, Texas? I feel like I've been there. You know, it's like once you go, you never forget. Kyle, Texas. Let's see. It is over it's near Austin. Okay, well, I've never been to Austin. That's on my list. And then it's kind of in between San Antonio and Austin, it looks like. Oh, so I was in Fort Worth. I was that looks like about a 2-hour drive. Had I driven south from Fort Worth, and I would have eventually gotten to Kyle. And where's Arlington? Welcome to Mike's Daily Podcast, where all he does is talk about Texas and the maps of Texas. Oh, Arlington is in between Dallas and Fort Worth. I lied. I wasn't in Fort Worth. I might have been. I don't know. But I was in that Arlington, Dallas, Fort Worth area. That would be a great podcast picture today, but it's not. Maybe we'll do a Texas picture. I took a lot of pictures in Texas when I visited about 3 years ago now. But what's interesting is, so all these Kyles showed up in Kyle, Texas, to break the world record for the largest gathering of people with one name. But
and here's today's podcast picture.
They fell short. 706 Kyles of all ages turned up. The crown is currently held by a town in Bosnia. They didn't have 706 Ivans. That's what they wanted, was Ivans. They had 2,325 Ivans, so they hold the Guinness World Record from 2017. And the podcast pictures of this guy at Fairmont Ridge, in between Podcastro Valley and San Leandro. Beautiful walk there. You're up on this beautiful ridge, and you can see the Bay Area and amazing sunsets. He and I used to go all the time, remembering him, the late great Basil the Boxer. It is not the first time that Kyles have been gunning against the Ivans. It's the Kyles versus the Ivans. It was a year ago, the official count at what has become known as the Gathering of the Kyles.
Addenda with Kevin.
No, not Kevin. Kyles. Got up to 1,490. And it is a fast-growing city in Texas, Kyle. And it is 37 miles south of Austin. It is not a chart topper among popular names in the U.S., Kyle, according to Social Security Administration.
This show is clean.
Which annually tracks the names given to girls and boys in each state. The most recent data shows that Kyle ranked, amongst male names in 2023, the names for males, those identifying as male or biologically male, something like that. The amount on the list, now, I wasn't Mateo recently at the top, or that's what I had heard. No, Kyle is all the way down at 416. Yikes. I bet Mike is way above that. Everyone's named Mike, it looks like. Ivan is actually above Kyle. Yes, the name Ivan is at 153. Fascinating. I got that from the Independent, and actually the Associated Press told me that, which I guess they got their info from the Independent. Thank you for that. Another interesting bit of info, is that with more traditional stores closing And I got this from Caden Haig, emailed me, mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. Retailers continue to be challenged by navigating...
Mike is on it, man.
Man go where no man has gone before.
We love it, Mike.
Thank you. By navigating the intersection of brick and mortar locations and e-commerce, trying to navigate that. And that there is, as retail giants grapple with closures, a lot of them closing, the landscape of commerce is undergoing a seismic shift. Last year, more than 4,600 stores closed due to bankruptcy, underperformance, or rising issues with theft. Dollar Tree, which includes Family Dollar, is slated to close.
This is Mike's podcast picnic.
Oh, let's have a podcast picnic at a Family Dollar or Dollar Tree. Not Dollar General, though. Then there's Dollar General. No, don't do that. Actually, wherever I went in the South, I seemed to find a Dollar Tree or a Family Dollar or Dollar General. No, but Dollar Tree and Family Dollar, they're going to close 1,000 stores this year. Last year, Best Buy has...
I got through that. I got into it.
At a Best Buy? Well, they closed 30 to 40 stores last year. Walgreens announced the closure of about 150 stores towards the end of this year. The fusion of physical and digital experiences, though, is still happening. Retailers are at the mercy of changes in people's shopping behavior as well as culture relevancy. That is someone named Nick Stephanie, who works at Full Moon Digital. He's the
When you are a man, sometimes you wear stretchy pants.
Nick is the Associated Director of Strategy and Content, and also tells us this: the closure of physical stores has significantly influenced the retail landscape, with e-commerce experiencing a surge in popularity, and so retailers are trying to adapt their strategies to cater to the growing online consumer base. As we go outside of Café Anyway, where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, the last place on earth, the preference and behaviors of Gen Z consumers, Gen Zils, Zillennials, are shaping the e-commerce landscape. Yes, they have the power. You have the power if you are a Zillennial, influencing how many brands engage with Zillennials. Gen Z does not go to the mall, says Nick. They go They go online, Café Anyway. They go to Café Anyway and go outside of Café Anyway, where we are. They do online shopping, a boutique they saw on Instagram or Amazon, leaving many more traditional brick and mortar stores at the mercy of a change in shopping behavior. So I guess it's dealing with behavior. Despite this, though, brick and mortar stores shouldn't be discounted entirely. The Economist Intelligence Unit is predicting that brick and mortar sales will make an astonishing 85% of total retail sales this year. Why?
You know, I mean, people get stuck on stupid. You know what I mean?
Maybe that's the reason. Or it is the urge that consumers have in our post-pandemic landscape for shopping in person. People can't get away from that. It's the same reason why we go to concerts now. Although I know a lot of Zillennials and millennials. Millennials and Zillennials?
MTV News.
Is that a thing?
You hear it first.
Let's just say people younger than me that don't remember MTV News, because that ended not too long ago. But they don't want to go to movie theaters anymore. They're like, well, I haven't seen a movie since 2018-19, and this is shaping up to be one of the worst summer movie seasons since was it 93, which is leading to the rise of phygital stores. Yes, phygital with a PHY, because they're trying to make physical digital a thing.
Fabagoo. Things to do.
That's the thing to do. Phygital stores, which encompasses integrated physical and digital channels and creating integrated experiences. And the reality is that physical locations seem to offer a boost to online shopping, with research revealing that introducing a new brick and mortar store can lead to a 29% increase in online sales within the same area. Wasn't this a thing predicted by 40-Year-Old Virgin? And the, what's her name? Catherine Keener character. And she's running a store called I'll Sell It on eBay. And then a young Jonah Hill walks into the store in one scene. And it was, I think, his first scene ever in a movie. And said, hey, I really like these boots. I want to buy these boots. And she said, okay, well, you can't buy them. I'm selling them on eBay. Right. Well, I was just thinking, since I'm here already and here are the boots, I'll buy them. And she says, that's not how it works.
You will travel into the incredible universe.
Back when Judd Apatow was funny and didn't get annoying with his really, really long movies. One other interesting thing here. It says Nordstrom's New York flagship store recently collaborated with Disney to celebrate the wonder of Disney's 100th anniversary. Multiple immersive interactive experiences were offered to shoppers, including a 5-segment LED wall with elements inspired by Disney princesses. And there were touchscreen coloring books. Creating memorable experiences like these is basically the future of brick and mortar stores melding with online stores. Melding is a word. So that is the future. Then this goes into cybersecurity. It magnifies the cybersecurity risks associated with online shopping. I saw AT&T recently had some kind of cyber hack. And it just happens over and over. And nowadays, people, if they haven't had at least one email or letter physically mailed to them saying, hey, sorry, you were hacked. Here's what you can do for the next 30 days. We're giving you this cybersecurity for free, blah, blah, blah. It's happening all the times.
The Royal Trump Tweet Decree.
What's it going to do about that? I wonder. Because you got Biden trying to get rid of all the junk fees going on with buying airline tickets and whatnot. What's Trump proposing? We'll get rid of all the fraudulent activity and data breaches. Because I know all about that. It's really bad. It's a bad thing. But that's going to be a problem for online companies. So brick and mortar may have a better way with that. Businesses must stay vigilant and proactive in addressing these risks to maintain consumer trust and safeguard their operations. With algorithm changes, digital platforms like social media and search engines frequently update their algorithms, impacting the business's visibility and reach. Changes in algorithms can suddenly make a store that's selling stuff online disappear. It decreases what they call organic reach. And then there's market saturation. The online marketplace is highly competitive. Numerous businesses vying for consumers' attention. Market saturation can make it challenging for companies to differentiate themselves and attract customers. You probably, very by accident, found this podcast because I got a lot of competition. There's zillions and zillions of podcasts out there. A lot of them aren't even active. Like somebody did a podcast 6 years ago and it's still sitting there in the podcast marketplace. And I'm competing against that. But yeah, it's oversaturated. And consumer preference and behaviors, as you know, constantly evolve. Influenced by technology. Influenced by societal trends. And of course, by our economic conditions. How bad's inflation? How bad are prices now? Businesses must constantly adapt their strategies to meet changing consumer needs. I have never seen, pretty much, ever seen restaurants ever tried to compete by dropping their prices. It seems to just make them go up, 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 up until nobody goes to their store anymore or their restaurant anymore and they go out of business. Right now, we're in a period where all the restaurants everywhere's the prices just keep going up and up. There's no way to stop them because the competition doesn't seem to stop them because people pay the prices. people will pay what they're demanding. So that is where the brick and mortar
Bands mutations.
is mutating because being online and e-commerce has its problems. And a big thank you to the people there at Full Moon Digital and Caden Haig for sending that. Very interesting stuff there. I've been thinking a lot about how it's all changing. And I mean, Amazon's got me hooked. Oh, and there's all kinds of cassettes that I would love to sell on Amazon. Can I do that? I just have a lot. But no, you can listen to Mike's Daily Podcast on Amazon in the podcast listening section there. But what do you think? I'm not even going to ask that. All the podcast video hosts all ask that. What do you think? Comment in the comment section below. Seriously, I'm the only one that would actually read the comments in the comment section below. But yeah, it's very trite and cliche. What's the cliche of the week? That is, we were trying to find that on the other podcast. Now I have found it. It's that.
A flying saucer.
It is a flying saucer, and leaving your comments in the comment section below. But here is some people outside of Café Anyway. Pardon my grammar. Hello, Mike Matthews. It's Chely Shoehart, gift shop supervisor. Wow, all that was really interesting. And I have not tried to sell any of my snow globes online, Mike Matthews, because I think people should show up to the cafe anyway and buy them here, Mike Matthews. That's my name, Mike Matthews. Yes, they should show up here. Don't sell them online.
As you know, there's a real scary holiday coming up.
Even though a really scary holiday is coming up and you could sell it then. But people could show up here. That's why we have so many people show up at Cafe Anyway. Because of the snow globes. Look who else is here. Oh, Mike, this is Floyd the Floorman. And this is John Deere, the engineer. Mike, you know, I find your podcast fascinating. It also puts me to sleep and it invigorates me. It does everything you could ever want. It also, if you spray a little on the window, it cleans it and it tastes good on top of ice cream. Yes. Mike's Daily Podcast is really Jarelname. I'm glad you like it. Well, I gotta say Jarelname and leave the show. Thank you for listening to the Mike's Daily Podcast program, the digital program, audio experience, and there is no visual experience in this audio experience. But if you would like to see some of the video or podcast pictures and whatnot, they are all there at mikesdailypodcast.com.
Magnification.
And you can also call me at this number.
Call Mike at the Cafe Anyway hotline. Area code 510-228-4640.
Yes, call me at that number because then I can feature your comments in the section emails from email and your comment not so comments because of those comments that you just said when you called that number just now. And there's a little surprise when you call that number too. A very interesting message when you call it. So give it a call is what I'm trying to say. And check out the website. And with more info on that, here's A-Frame.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com. Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. See you tomorrow. Bye.